Where do I even start? Hey everyone, welcome to another video of your anime study break. This is M, your resident procrastinator, and today is the day I finally talk about the first episode of Tower of God, the anime. So, for those of you who have lived under a rock, Tower of God is a new anime, Crunchyroll original, that was released on April 1st, but it's not a joke. And oh my god, I have so many feelings that I need to put across right now, but I'm gonna try to compose myself and talk about this as in depth as I can. First of all, seeing your favorite manga animated, your favorite characters coming to life, motions and not just simple panels on a page is really draws out a different feeling. And to be very honest, for the first few minutes of the anime, I was in tears. Yes, I was crying. I didn't know what came over me, but I was like, I love this manhwa so much. I read it, I consumed it like it was a meal or whatever. And seeing the start of the episode, it's like you got previews of the characters you'll be expecting. It just like really drew in, reminded me of the first time I read the webtoon. So I'm not gonna go into specific details about these characters yet because I don't want to spoil anything for those watching this anime and have no idea about the story. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yes, the first few minutes actually show the characters that we will encounter and go on a journey with in this very epic story. Next, let's talk about that opening song. That opening song is titled Top by Korean idol group named Stray Kids. I'm actually a very huge fan of Stray Kids. Like I've known them even before they debuted in Korea, and I love their songs. You should check them out. But this isn't a Stray Kids appreciation video, but they did a really good job in the opening song, Top. And since Hour of God is a Korean manhwa and the age group of Stray Kids is like the eldest is probably 24 or 25 or something like that, and their youngest is was born in the 2000s, so there's no doubt that some or even most of them have already read this webtoon. Okay, so that's it for the opening song. You should check out Stray Kids if you like the opening. Okay. The art style for Tower of God, as we have seen in the previous trailers, is a bit different from what we're used to in anime. But even though it's not like the type that we're used to, it's very good. Like, seriously, I'm someone who doesn't really get into anime that I can't appreciate the art style. And like I give up on it very easily if I don't like the drawings or whatever. But I gotta say, this art style is very very nice, and you can really feel that whoever made the anime adaptation really pays homage or a nod to the webtoon creator, SIU, with respect to this art, because most of the webtoon readers know the art style for Tower of God in the first season not as good as how it became in the later seasons. But as the chapters went by, and if you stuck to reading it because you love the story, you love the characters, you see the improvement in the art style. And this art style in the animation is really almost similar to late art style of the creator in the later chapters. And I gotta say, in season 2, season 3, drawings really, really nice. Like, to the extent that a friend actually also read the first few chapters of the Tower of God, and they gave up because they didn't feel the art style of the early chapters. But later on, they saw me reading, and they asked what it was, and I said, "Oh, it's Tower of God." And then the reaction I got was that, "Oh, the art style actually got better. So maybe it's time for me to read." Because yes, there's like it's preference. There's something about the art that draws you in and keeps you reading. For me, the art style wasn't really the primary thing that made me read religiously, motivated me to keep on reading. It's the story, the plot, the characters, basically, and the curiosity, because if you've already saw other reviews, they compared it to the similarities to other Japanese anime, but this is a Korean webtoon, so it's kind of different. It's a nod to other different anime. Yes, okay. Next, let's talk about the characters. So, in the first few minutes, we get to see the people who participate in this particular story. So, but in this episode, we were introduced to a few names already, like Yoru, Rahel, Hidon, Yuri, Evan. I guess that's it. Yeah, because from in the later part, the other characters are still unnamed, so I'm gonna, I'm not gonna say their names because it's just let's just wait for episode 2 for everyone to know, like the anime only anime only people. Okay, so for us who have already read the webtoon, I think you noticed that the main character is in this anime is Yoru, and in the webtoon, and also as shown in the subtitle, it's translated to Bam, like BAM. Crunchyroll actually released not really a statement, like an article explaining why they made the subtitles into Bam in contrast to what the people the voice says, like Yoru. Bam in Korean means night, and in the webtoon you understand later we get an explanation from the character himself why he's named Bam. So I think as a nod, like to previous people who already know the story, they put the name as Bam in the subtitles for those of us who don't speak Japanese, so that we could relate or something. Or um I don't really know. I'm not really sure about the reason for it, but they like maybe it's a nod to the webtoon. And Yoru also means night in Japanese, so they like just translated it from Korean Bam to Japanese Yoru. Okay. But, it's gonna take a few episodes for us to understand, really. Next is the girl. She's always depicted with Bam. And at the start, you can see Bam chasing after her, which is not really a new thing when it comes to anime. Like, guys chasing girls, girls chasing guys, everyone's chasing everyone. Okay. So, in the webtoon, the girl's name is translated to Rachel, but the Korean like untranslated version, it's Rahel. Rahel. Like, if I had to spell it out, Lahel. That's how they write it in Korean, and in Japanese they also stuck to Rahel. Rahel. But I'm gonna call her Rachel because it's easier. So we see that she went, she left Bam, and then Bam's chasing after her. So that's like one of the main storyline of this series is Bam chasing after Rachel, who's gone up the tower. So he decided to go up the tower as well. But in the first episode, we've seen that in the scene with Black March, we're gonna talk about it later. The sword that activated, ignited, Bam actually says that he doesn't care about the tower and he only has one goal. So the next character is Hedon. Hedon. He is the guardian of the tower and he's basically a gatekeeper. And he called Bam a non-regular, which a few people have expressed their concerns that it's a mistranslation because yes, out in the webtoon they're known as irregulars. It's gonna be significant later on with regards to the translation because there are a few people who are irregulars, of course. So it's gonna sound a bit redundant if they keep the non-regular description or subtitle or whatever because the people who have read are used to irregular, and seeing the non-regular in the subtitle is kind of weird for lack of a better word. And then next we have the two stragglers. Yuri, who just came in with a majestic kick in the face, and Evan, who's chasing right after her. We see in this episode that Yuri is mentioned as is called a princess of Jihad. Jihad, Zahard, whatever. It's loose translation because in Korean, J and Z is kind of a similar character. So I'm gonna refer to it as Jihad as it is in the webtoon. Right now, we really don't have any explanation as to what a Princess of Jihad is, but you know that they have a title in the tower because Hidon and Evan have like high regard for Yuri, as you can see in this episode, and they're special. She gave Bam that pocket she says is high quality, and and I really like the detail at the start where Yuri and Evan were talking in a different language and then they gave the pocket and then it became an instant translator because I don't know for others but for me I actually forgot that that was a thing. Like people who go into the tower actually speak different languages and they're very diverse, that the pocket serves as a translator so that everyone can understand each other. And I forgot about that because as you read the chapters everyone just understands everyone instantly, and I'm quite happy that that little detail was added into the anime. One thing about the Yuri and Evan scene though is that for us webtoon readers, we actually know that Yuri and Evan's entrance isn't that abrupt. Like they have already observed Bam for a little bit before showing themselves to him. So, but I don't know if that's going to be included in a later episode because they didn't include it in this episode. But I'm gonna put my faith in the writers and in CU because I think that CU is also the creator is taking reviewing or watching over this project because this is their baby, and you want your baby to look as good and as the best that it can be when you put it out into the world. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So the Black March, we've webtoon readers, I don't know if you noticed it, but the Black March in the anime is looks quite different to the Black March in the webtoon. In the webtoon, it's referred to as a needle, which in from what I understand is like the one that Arya has in Game of Thrones. Like it's very thin, but in the anime, Black March looks like a bit of a katana, a flat sword, yeah, which looks similar to a katana, but from what I've gathered, from what I've seen, is actually a nod to the Korean type of sword, which they adapted from the Japanese katana. So I'm not really expecting, but there might be different depictions of the 13-month series in this anime. So for those of you who have not read the webtoon, the 13-month series are actually a group of weapons, like the one that Yuri gave Bam as a sword, and there are other weapons like this one is Black March, and there are others that are named with different colors, different months. Yeah, 13 months, It speaks for itself. And also, I've read a few, not really concerns, but, comments about how the Black March looks after it was ignited, like when after Bam said that, lend me your power. In the webtoon, the Black March looks a bit different. I don't know. People say that she would look smaller and that they always had the impression that the 13 months were children or were spirits. But, later on, if you read the webtoon, it doesn't actually matter that much. And I guess this was a creative decision for the animators for it to be consistent, because if they choose to continue on the series until the part where the other 13-month weapons spirits get depicted, I guess it's for uniformity's sake, because the explanation for the 13 months is quite complicated and isn't really revealed in the first few chapters of the story. The backstory of the weapons get built up as you read, and you have to piece it together, because another YouTuber said, because I listened to his review, Tower of God doesn't give you all of the information. You have to piece it together. So, like, let me just say, let's be patient, guys. And for all webtoon readers who already know the anime only people, let them figure it out for themselves, okay? Next. So we've seen that in the anime, they clearly depict this at test 1, test 2. And test 2 is Bam was transported into another floor where there are other people, and the box thingy in the sky. I know it's called a lighthouse, but people don't know about lighthouses yet at this point. It says reduce the number of participants to 400, and then battle royale starts to break out, and then you get view of characters like the dude in the sleeping bag, the alligator, the the green lizard person, and the boy with the white hair. Of course, I know their names, but I'm not gonna spoil their names. I'm not gonna say it yet, but even though I really want to. So you might have an idea, like the alligator saw the weapons and was like, I sense a very powerful presence. Okay. And then at the end, we all know that Bam looks a little frail, and from what we've seen in the first test, he's not really a fighter, but his determination gets him to where he needs to be. In this case, there are other skilled fighters, and there's a bloodbath everywhere that he needs to survive. And when he tried, it makes you kind of nervous, because oh my god, what are you gonna do, man? Normally anime episodes run for 20 minutes, I know that, but I really wanted more, man. The end song, the ending, is actually titled Slump, also by Stray Kids, the same artist who made and sung the opening. Yes, I said made and sung because Stray Kids is actually a group who make their own music, produce, write their own lyrics and stuff. So yeah, it's also good. It's quite good, actually. I love the music. Like, it's very anime but not anime. Like, it's not a new thing for a Korean group to sing for an anime opening or ending, but this songs really capture the essence of the action that you can expect from this series. So Overall, episode 1, not bad. And congratulations because I heard that it trended on Twitter and everyone was so excited, and even I myself tweeted out that I was crying for the first few minutes because it finally came, and this actually is an important start in the world of anime because this is the first time that a Korean webtoon is made into an anime. So this opens up that world of webtoons to become animation. Like, we already have the Chinese comics, manga, whatever, made into animations, but I think this is the first time that a Korean webtoon this big is being animated, and it opens up the doors to other series like God of High School, Unordinary, Solo Leveling, The Gamer. There are actually a lot of cool webtoons out there for those of you who haven't checked it out. Also, I've seen a few people, like, this is a Crunchyroll original, so you watch it through Crunchyroll, of course. And I actually got a notification from the Webtoon app that Webtoon users get a free 30-day trial for Crunchyroll, so you might want to check that out so you can, be updated with, or if you really want to watch as it comes out and not wait for magic powers of people to provide it to you. So, yeah, links for the Webtoon app is in the description. I'm not sponsored by anything by Crunchyroll or Webtoon, but I just want to help out people who are curious on how to get access to the episodes. And since you're downloading Webtoon, you might want to check out the other series because God of High School is eventually coming, and as well as other titles from Webtoons. So it's actually not a bad deal. And Crunchyroll also has other series, of course, other anime. Isn't that bad, especially since what's going on in the world right now, like, you spend a lot of time indoors and self-isolating, and what's a better time to drown yourself in anime and good series, manga, webtoons than the present. And from what I've heard, episode 2 is really shoots the quality of this show to another level. So episode 1 is not enough for us to give a conclusion as to how this series is gonna be, but for me it's enough to say that I'm gonna keep watching. But as I've learned in the past, you need at least 2 or 3 more episodes to actually judge or judge the quality, or determine if you're gonna keep on watching. So don't draw any conclusions yet, guys, for those who are still undecided whether to watch or not, or to keep on watching or not. But I promise you, as someone who has read the webtoon and has almost caught up in the latest season of the story, it gets better, gets really better, and hopefully they capture that essence in this anime, in the animation. So that's it for this study break. I'm M. Hope you enjoyed. Please keep watching Tower of God. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.